Welcome to Web API Tutorials. I am Venkat. This is part 28, Built-in Logger in Web API. In this video, let us learn about the inbuilt logging mechanism. When you create a ASP.NET Core Web API project, by default, there is a logging mechanism added to your project. When the built-in or default logging mechanism added to your project, it will have 4 different types of loggers added. Okay, these are the 4 different types of loggers. First one is the logging to console, second one is the logging to debug, and third one is logging to event source, fourth one is a logging to event log. So the fourth one is only applicable for Windows operating system. Out of these 4, we can test first 2 in this video because those 2 logging mechanism doesn't require any additional setup or configuration. The next 2 or remaining 2 needs additional configuration. So we will look at those 2 later. So let us start working with the console and debug level logging. If you want to know which point these loggers added to our application. So if you scroll down little bit, so this is the place whenever this line got executed, then the loggers got added to our web API application. So in the web application.createBuilder method, the loggers got added into the application. So we don't need to do a dependency injection also. It will be directly available for injecting into the controllers. So these particular loggers are directly available for dependency injection into the constructors. So we don't need to do any additional steps. We can directly start using the loggers. Let's go to our application. These are the previous examples, custom logging. Let me remove this. Private read only. Private read only. ILogger is the default logging mechanism interface. I will use it for student controller. And now I'm creating the constructor CTOR and tab twice. Here I will write the same thing. My local variables starts with underscore, and here I'll paste that. Here I'll assign that to the local variable. Yes. So now I have the logger available in my controller. So how is this injecting into this controller? So whenever you want to inject something into your controller, you need to register it for dependency injection. But for the default built-in loggers, dependency registration also configured in the same line, same method, in this particular method. Okay, we don't need to additionally configure it for dependency injection. It will work by default. So we can directly start using the loggers. Now I have logger in my controller. Let me use this particular logger. Logger.log information. Yes. So here I will log it like get students method started executing. Okay. Started. Get students method started. That's the log I wanted to log as a information. And let us also add the logger information here. If there is a bad request, I want to log error here before returning the bad request. Logger dot log warning. Bad request. So here also logger dot error. This time I want to log the error. Student not found with a given ID. That's how I wanted to use the logger. Now let me run this. My application started. I'm executing this one. So let me put this side by side. So there is no log yet. So whenever I try to click on execute, we can see get students method started. So we can see the log added the get students method started. That's what we have written. So let's try to execute the get student by ID. Try it, and I want to get student by ID 1. So execute. It found the student with ID 1. That's why no log added. Let me try to get the student by ID 7. So student with ID 7 is not there. So here we can see the failed kind of log added, error log added to the console. So as we have discussed, by default 4 different types of inbuilt loggers added. So there are two loggers which does not require any additional setup. So by default these two loggers starts working. Let me show you that. So here we have already seen that it is logging into the console window, and also if you go to the Visual Studio output window, here you can see the debug console. So here you can select the debug console, and here we can see the log added. So it's a error log. So here whenever the student is null, we are logging the error type of log. So that's what here logged. So error type of log, the message here is student not found with a given ID. And if you want to see the previous log, here you can see the information log get students method started. So by default it started logging into the all types of logging mechanism. But if you want to log only into one way of logging, meaning if you want to log the information or data into only the console window or only to the debug window, you can do that. So by default, all kinds of loggers starts working. If you want to limit that, we can do that from program.cs. If you want to use only one logger out of the all inbuilt loggers, first thing we need to clear the loggers. builder.Logging.ClearProviders. We have cleared all 4 providers. So with this statement, all 4 providers got cleared from our application, meaning removed from our application. Now I will add only the console, add console. So this time only logging to console will work. If you want only logging to the debug, add debug. You can add like this. If you want to add both debug and console, you can do like this, add debug and add console. So what I did, I have cleared all 4 inbuilt loggers and I have added whatever I wanted, meaning I want add console and add debug. This time these 2 loggers will work. So but I wanted only console logging. I will remove this one. Okay, this time it will log to only console window. Let me show you the demo of logging to only debug. So I am removing add console. I have added only add to debug. I am clicking on hot reload. Because it is an application level change, let me rerun it. This is the console window. You can see there is nothing logging in the console because we have cleared all the loggers and added only the So if you click on get all students, you can see there is nothing logged in the console window. There is nothing logged in the console window. But if you go to the debug window, Visual Studio debug window, here we can see the information type get students method started. Let me show you this one. I have cleared everything. Now I will execute get student by ID with ID 7 or 8. So 8 number student is not there. I'm clicking on execute. Here you can see the error type log added. Student not found with the given ID. But if you look at the console window, there is nothing logged to the console because the reason is we have cleared all the providers. We have cleared all the providers and we have added only debug logging. That's why it is adding to the debug window. Here you can see it is a debug window. So that's the inbuilt logging mechanism. So you can start using like this. You can directly inject that particular logger into your controller and you can start using that. But if you want to log something to the text file or database, this inbuilt logger will not support that. So if you want to log something into the text file or any other file or into the database, we need to go for third-party loggers. I will also explain that in upcoming videos. Along with this logging mechanism, inbuilt logging mechanism, we also need to learn about the log levels. There are different log levels. So what is the default log level and how it works? So all these details, all these log level related information we will discuss in the next video.